Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard the term passive income thrown around in the personal finance space more than anything else. What better way to draw people into investing or your program or whatever it is than to tell them that they could make as much money as they could ever want without doing anything? Sure, I want to make as much money as I possibly can without doing anything. Who doesn't? But what's the catch? Passive income is defined as income that takes little to no effort to obtain. That's where I think that things go wrong. Passive income as a term and an idea is a complete scam. If it really took no effort to obtain these things, then why doesn't everybody already have it? The reality is these so-called passive income methods that everybody's trying to chase down take a ton of work, a ton of effort, and a ton of failure to achieve. On top of that, the most commonly talked about methods for passive income include buying and holding rental properties. On an average rental property right now, you might be able to make $500 a month. Now, just looking at the money side of that, for most people, that means it's going to take you at least 10 plus properties to be able to cash flow enough money to support your lifestyle. Even for an above average investor that's really working hard at this, they're probably not going to be able to obtain more than 1 or 2 properties a year. So at that rate, it's going to take them at least 5 to 10 years just to be able to break even on covering those expenses. Here's one of the biggest myths out there with this. After those 10 years, when you finally break even on your expenses, is that really financial freedom with passive income? I mean, if you work all those years and learn all of those things and make all the mistakes that are going to come with it, just to get to the end and realize that you can't afford to go out to an extra dinner every month, is that really freedom? In this video, I hope to take the time to relay some of the lessons that I've learned about passive income, and not only how it's not as accurate as it sounds, but what you might be able to do instead to actually jumpstart your career and achieve those goals. Passive income, let's get into it. So passive income is great, and it's a great tool to be able to produce income and make more money when you're working in real estate or otherwise. Sure, adding another revenue stream is a great way to make money, but having it be your only revenue stream is where things take a dive. In my experience, passive income was being sold as something that I had to really work for many years to begin to slowly, gradually build, instead of working on something that I could do now and scale quicker. The other disconnect on passive income for me was that the whole idea was selling you on making this money and then doing nothing. Whether it's a money-making activity or not, most people want to keep working on something that's going to improve themselves or the lives of other people. If you are one of those people that's still chasing passive income from a traditional rental route, keep going. It's a great way to learn lessons and make some income in the process. If you're looking to go that route, I would definitely check out this video on creative finance if you haven't already, because that's going to help you tremendously get closer to that goal. But on the other hand, what if you've maybe bought that first or second rental and are just getting things started, but you're trying to figure out what to do now? That's the boat I found myself in. After getting our first Airbnb up and running, there was a couple lessons I learned. Number one, it's not all free money. Even after the income started coming in, guess what? There's a lot of things that still cost money. Whether it's supplies, leaks in the roof, or the entire floor coming up, the expenses have continued to add up, and it's not a one-off. This is what owning rentals are like. Whether you're self-managing or paying somebody else to manage, these things are going to come up as a part of owning property. Assets require management, and they are not passive. Even so, they're absolutely a great way to make money. But after buying this first property and converting it into an Airbnb, I find myself trying to figure out, what do I do for the next year? And that was my second lesson. Rental properties are a slow burner. They are absolutely the way to building wealth through assets, but they don't necessarily show the progress that you might want to be working on. Some of the most commonly talked about investing strategies go over buying 1 or 2 properties a year and continuing to build up your portfolio. Again, not a bad idea, but what do I do in the meantime? I wanted to continue to develop my skills, not just in reading and networking, but by actually taking action. And that's where I think the concept of passive income really falls off a cliff. Sitting and waiting allows for markets to change, it allows for you to lose the skills that you've developed, and it also just slows down the process. Instead of just sitting and waiting for this passive income idea to develop, I started working on something that I found to be much more effective: active income. Now, active income as a word feels like it doesn't even really need to be defined, because it's just anything that requires effort to make money. Anytime that you're trading your time for money, that's active income. And when it's talked about, it seems to be looked at in a negative light because the reality is a lot of people don't like what they're doing to make money. But what if you did? Instead of looking at anything that requires time for money to be a bad thing, what if instead you just switched that focus to finding something that you wanted to be doing and make money off that? The common phrase goes, if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That phrase has been too quickly forgotten in a world where everybody is just looking to do nothing and make everything. In my experience, focusing more on that and less on what was going to be easy has helped propel me forward much quicker. Now, I'm not trying to rag on buying rentals or the rich dad, poor dad idea of buying assets. I'm still working on doing those things, and I think everybody else should as well. But skill development is an essential factor in being able to move forward with your life and really figure out what it is you want to be doing. Another concept that isn't talked about enough is the financial independence aspect of these things. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're making $500 per rental and you buy 10 rentals, you're now going to be making $5,000 per month. Now, aside from the fact that a lot of that money is probably going to be going into vacancy and repairs and things like that, working your entire life or many years just to make it to break even probably doesn't sound as attractive to people when you think about it as it may look in the videos that you've seen. I know I don't want to work all of those years just to be able to quit my job and not even be able to go on vacation. And that's the reason that active income has been life-changing for me and can be for you as well. Finding active income that's scalable and something you enjoy is incredibly rare, but that's what makes it so worth it. Making active income doesn't have to be hard, but you do have to have the people and the skills in place to be able to run your business and continue to improve things as you go. One of my active income streams has been the gator lending that I've been talking about, but there's multiple other streams that we're working on as well. I'm excited to break down the specifics of what my businesses look like and what they're bringing in each month. But in the meantime, what's really important is just getting out there and doing it. So as you continue to work towards this passive income goal that people talk about, don't lose sight of the fact that you have a ton of skills that you can utilize right now to make active income that can get you out of where you are to where you want to be. That paradigm shift for me changed everything about the way I operated. Although it may look different for different people, there is something out there that you can work on, whether it's a skill or a product or a project that you can develop and start building off of. Although it will look different for everybody, start thinking about what that might be for you. I would love to hear down in the comments what you might be working on or excited to try working on to build up that active income stream. Let's talk more about it. And if you're new here, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope I was able to add value to you. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Like this video so that you can see more content like it as I continue to bring people along on my journey of becoming a real estate investor and figuring out what the heck it is I'm trying to accomplish. Thank you all for your support. Keep at it. Until next time.